The Vancouver Canucks make a sneaky signing that came out of nowhere as a pleasantly unexpected surprise with lots of upside, not just for the present, but also for the future of this team to try and balance this roster and the core depth even further, as it is a massive offseason priority. We're going to be breaking down all that in this episode of Canucks Digest, but first, if you're a part of the 66.6% of viewers that aren't yet subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things Canucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can stay up to date on everything. And with that, let's hop straight into it, which is the Canucks make a sneaky signing. So out of nowhere, on a Thursday, General Manager Patrik Allvin announced today that the Canucks have agreed to terms with forward Henri Ravinskis on a 2-year entry-level contract starting in 2025 and 2026. And Patrik Allvin also had some quotes speaking on the matter, saying that Henri is a player our group has been watching closely this year in Finland and more recently at the World Hockey Championships in Sweden. Finding European free agents like Henri is a good way for our organization to improve its depth. We like his size and body type and look forward to helping him refine his skills and get used to North American pro game. So if you guys aren't familiar with Ravinskis like I was, I had to do a bit of a read up before doing this video just to get familiarized a bit with him and his game. He is 22 years old, from Latvia. He's a right winger and a left winger. He's 6'3" as well at 209, shoots left, and is signed until 2026, 2027 for the Vancouver Canucks, so they can use him in different ways, whether in Abbotsford or just jumping right up to the NHL right away, which I wouldn't expect right out of the gate. I still think he's going to have some massaging periods in Abbotsford as far as his development goes, but overall it is a pretty solid signing that I think is it has a bright future for the Vancouver Canucks, especially when we look at the intangibles that he tends to bring. A native of Riga, Latvia, Ravinskis has represented his country on numerous occasions, including at the 2021 U18 World Championships, where he was named a top 3 player on the team, the 2021 Division I Group A World Junior Hockey Championships, and the 2022 and 23 World Junior Hockey Championships, and the 2025 World Championships. So he is no stranger to the bright lights of this international stage. And he recently completed his second professional season playing in Finland, split between Katera and HPK. He registered 21 points with 8 goals, 13 assists over 21 points, and 10 penalty minutes in 23 games with Katera, and 17 points and 14 penalty minutes in 27 games played with HPK. He also suited up for 3 playoff games for HPK and 68 games across 2 seasons with Katera. The 6'3", 201-pound forward recorded 51 points with 22 goals and 29 assists, 38 penalty minutes, and a +13 plus-minus rating, which everyone knows can either be one of the most misleading stats or one of the most underrated stats in hockey. He appeared in 16 playoff games for Katera, posting 10 points, 7 goals, and 3 assists in the process, with 8 penalty minutes and a +7 rating, winning a silver medal at the conclusion of the postseason. So over in Finland, he had a pretty successful run there, I would say, with bringing a decent amount of production and just having a lot of experience in the regular season and postseason, making a lot of opportunities happen for other players as well. And prior to his time in Finland, Ravinskis suited up for the Blainville Boeser Armada in the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League, QMJHL, recording 54 points with 29 goals, 25 assists, and 54 total points, 39 penalty minutes in 98 games across 2 seasons. In 10 playoff games with the Armada, he accumulated 4 points with 1 goal, 3 assists, and 6 penalty minutes. So in 10 playoff games, not crazy, but also not terrible. It still is a decent amount of production and contribution. And overall, I think this is a guy that we can be pretty hyped about, as well as coming from a good team in the QMJHL that has another prospect that we're going to be talking about in a later video. So stay tuned for that one coming out soon. But overall, I think this is a really good depth signing for Vancouver. Does this mean that we're probably not going to sign Brock Boeser? Yeah, likely so, because they're going to start to stock up on either prospects, depth signings, or anything to try and fill the void with 1 player, 2 players, or even 3 players for what Brock Boeser would probably be leaving. However, with bringing in a guy like this, like I said earlier, he's not going to start right away for the Vancouver Canucks. We all know this. He's going to go through a period where he'll play a few games in Abbotsford. He might get called up here and there throughout the season, and that's what this team likes to do. They had so many skaters and call-ups for the team this season that it is astronomical that no team was even coming close, it seemed, where we were bringing up guys from the AHL because of injuries, because of sickness, because of drama, or trading players. It was just very much scatterbrained all around, but Manny Malhotra has done such a phenomenal job at developing these players and making sure that they're ready to make that jump. That was a big thing that we saw before Manny got there, that some of these AHL guys that we were calling up from Abbotsford, they weren't really NHL ready. They didn't really make those strides that we wanted to see, despite how well they were playing in Abbotsford. Arshdeep Bains was one of them. There was a few other guys as well. But with the AHL guys that we've seen, that we saw get called up to the Vancouver roster because of Manny Malhotra and his development since he got there at the start of last season, it's been a massive difference in the prospects. Just looking at Linus Karlsson, for example, his game improved so much. Niels Alman, also another player that improved massively. So Ravinsky's heading into this Abbotsford system with Manny Malhotra at the helm, developing these players with the potential of maybe being a future head coach down the stretch. Who knows? We'll see how Adam Foote works out. But with all of this is a chance where we can develop this winger into an absolute stud, where if we have an opportunity where we don't sign Brock Boeser, or we have a player that gets hurt throughout the year, whether it's Dakota Joshua, Kiefer Sherwood, God forbid, or anyone else, we have another guy that we can plug in there and brings a lot of upside. Like I said, when we're looking at his points, he's played, or in his history, he's played on the international stage. He's produced a lot of points overseas. He's been able to produce in the QMJHL on the East Coast or North American hockey. So he has played all the way around the world in a sense. And now it's time for him to take his talents to this Vancouver and Abbotsford system. But I'm very excited to see what you guys have to say about this. What do you guys think about this signing? Were you guys expecting a signing like this happening on just a random Thursday? I know I wasn't. I know news dropped and I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Now we got to shift from prospects onto an actual signing, which is great that we finally have another signing to talk about. I know it's not the winger that you guys wanted us to go and that you wanted the Canucks to go and sign. Sorry, I know we would definitely love to be on here talking about a Brock Boeser extension or something of that matter. However, we did go out and acquire a very good piece that we can develop in Abbotsford that can make the jump into a potential middle six guy that can come in clutch moments, or can come in when he's needed and just answer the bell and be that next man up. And at the end of the day, this Vancouver Canucks team, with the luck that we've had over the past 2 seasons with injuries and drama, we need all the depth that we can get and make sure that we just have guys that can go in those spots. And yes, with the free agency market being a little bit slim right now as far as younger Europeans or just established veteran centers or established just forwards in general, the free agent market is a little bit slim pickings. So the Canucks are going to have to go a lot younger than they wanted, but at least you have a lot of tools for Manny to develop and work in tandem with Adam Foote and saying, hey, I got some guys that'll be able to work for you, and then you got some guys that you might have to send down to me. We'll be able to work in tandem and make sure that this Vancouver Canucks team as a whole tries to bring a Stanley Cup to this great city. But what are your guys' thoughts on all of this signing, or the Ravinsky signing as a whole? Let us know what you guys have to say down below about all the matters, and what is the next signing that you guys would love to see happen for the Canucks. Do you think it'll be Pius Suter, or do you think it'll be a Brock Boeser update? Let us know what you guys have to say down in the comments below, and stay tuned. We're going to be having a lot of prospect videos coming out for you guys because the NHL draft is coming up. Vancouver picks at the number 15 slot, and there is a very good handful of players that they have to choose from if they are there in the draft. So stay tuned for those episodes. You won't want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can stay notified when it drops. But with that, I've been your host, Griffin. Take care.